some of you may have missed this, but yesterday Jagex actually updated the project rebalance again. And they also updated, like, literally 10 minutes ago or something, like an hour ago maybe, the herbal activity. So we'll look at that too. We're going to look at both of them now. And then we will jump back into Runescape. Adam, thank you for the song request. I will get that going when we get back into the game. So, project rebalance. They've updated again as of Wednesday, April 24th. This is what happens. Basically, they said we're back with another blog. They said the last one was their final blog. This is them amending that, of course. If you want to see what's changed, then scroll further down. But while we're here, we wanted to take a brief moment to say a few words. All right, so to be blunt, we know Project Rebalance has been a lot. We've had 3 different sections across 3 massive blogs, numerous blog updates, multiple betas. There's a bunch going on. So you guys might remember we've got the Slayer, the Thieving, the agility changes that they were doing. They've got the ranged attack combat style changes with the elemental spells, and now they've got all the weapon and magic gear rebalances too. And as the weeks have gone on, we've seen a number of comments to the tune of they're doing too much at once, or I wish they'd slow down. And while they appreciate that, this is not, this isn't like Dota. This isn't like League of Legends. This isn't like, I don't know how it is in World of Warcraft, but they don't rebalance on a bi-weekly basis. So you don't really, like, they do big rebalances at once. You guys might remember for the blowpipe rebalance, that happened a while ago. That was I think there's a couple other changes they did then as well. They don't do it very often, but they do it when they feel like they need to pull the game back, because Oldschool Runescape has a ceiling, right? And the ceiling for this game is very low, which is why we originally got Evolution of Combat for RuneScape 3, which was dog shit, of course, but that was what led to Evolution of Combat. The lack of imagination from devs and the ceiling that RuneScape at the time had. Oldschool Runescape has a very similar ceiling. We just have we have devs that obviously have learnt from past mistakes. They're a lot smarter. They're a lot more creative. The tools they have are a lot more advanced, so they have a lot more going on for them at their disposal, right? Once we hit that limit, we have 99 as a skill cap limit. We have, once you start hitting over 100 damage, like if you're able to, as a player, hit 99 damage, especially on other players in the wilderness, it's game over. Like, PvP has gone from, I can't really explain how it's evolved, because I cannot remember for the life of me this very minute how it used to be. It used to be more or less outlasting the other player based on your gear switches, right? I believe. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But now it's about keeping your health as high as possible so that you don't get fucking hit for 70. Right? It's all about landing that AGS or Voidwaker spec or the Claw spec that will send it. Why is 120 not a thing anymore? 120 was never a thing in Old School RuneScape. It's only a thing that came in RuneScape 3 when they tried to extend the skills, because they were able to extend the ceiling. But you've got players at 200 mil XP in, like, any skill, right? What happens if you make 120 the new limit? Do they automatically get those levels? They automatically get those buffs? That's totally fine if they do, but it feels like you're adding to the game, and those players don't actually have to do any work. They just kind of unlock all this new content immediately. It's kind of, it's not really the direction I'm sure the JMods want to take the game. We don't need to go to level 120. We're fine at 99. I think 99 suits great. Back in the day, hitting 20 plus of DDS was the gold standard. Yeah. Now that hits are a lot more higher, it's basically just you can't afford to have your health under fucking 60 or 70 in PvP. Otherwise, you are at risk of getting fucking deleted. Back in the day, you could have had it down to like 40, 50 easily. You would have been fine. It was just, you were criticized for safing. You were judged in PvP back in the day. If your health was like more than fucking 30, they were like, why are you safing? Like, risk getting one hit. Now, you can't afford to get risk getting one hit. It's just whoever has the most brews wins at the end of the day, right? You can do that at like level 50 strength and 60 attack with gear now. Absolutely. So the ceiling keeps moving. Sorry, the ceiling is the same, but our distance towards the ceiling keeps moving. So Jagex wants to pull that back, because it's better to nerf than it is to buff. You nerf gear, you bring everything down, you have more room to then bring in new gear, which is how we got the Bofa from the blowpipe nerf, right? Blowpipe with Missouri, old blowpipe with Missouri, sorry, would have been fucked. It was already better than anything in the game. It was the strongest fucking setup ever. So that's why they're doing this. Sorry for that little tangent, but I just wanted to make sure everyone is clear and on the same page, because there are a lot of players out there that kind of just question this logic a lot, and some people never played RuneScape back then, so they don't really have that history. They just kind of get into the game and then wonder why all this shit's happening. Oldschool was a slow burn, both in-game and in the gaming industry. We've been around for over 11 years at this point, which is even longer than the time from RuneScape 2 released to 2007 backup. All of that Oldschool is built on top of. All that to say, we're not a competitive game. We're not looking to put out a balancing patch every week or two, like I said. And of all you at home wondering whether you'll wake up early Wednesday to have to change the loadout for the 10th time this year. That would be very annoying, and the market would just fucking crash. Like, gear would never have a stable price. It's rare for us to rebalance stuff for exactly this reason, and it means that every time we do elect to make changes, we try to capture more at once so that there's one dose of readjusting and then things are left to settle. So if Jagex do this, we're probably not going to see something again for another 2 or 3 years at least, right? Of course, there might be some the occasional kink to iron out or feedback tweaks to make as the dust clears and more players interact with rebalanced landscapes, but we feel it's preferable to changing a couple things every week and winding up in a constant loop of minor tweaks. Given how scarce these kind of updates are, we want to reiterate that we only look to make them when we feel they stand to benefit the game in a broad sense. Both now and in the years to come, 2001's infamous toxic blowpipe nerf is an example of this. Since we feel range is by and large in a healthy place and incredibly strong at the moment, but the old blowpipe with today's gear upgrades would be an absolute monster. Absolutely right. Like with Missouri, it would just be too fucking powerful. Part of that rebalance accomplished was ultimately paving a way for Missouri armor, the quiver, and even the Venator ring, meaningful upgrades for for people to chase that offer range strength, which would have been much harder to make healthy for ranged as a whole, with the affordable and reasonably obtainable toxic blowpipe dominating the meta. Similarly, it made room for the crystal armor and the bow of Farden Heiden Schmugenhugen, slotting in alongside other range weaponry to give players more options and allowed us to keep introducing meaningful upgrades without utterly trivializing older content. Makes sense. You wouldn't have the bow for today if they had the old blowpipe. The bow for today is just as good as the old blowpipe. It's more expensive, it's harder to get. It requires gear to make it that powerful. And the T-bow is still better, so it's a win-win. In this case, those benefits are things like improving the variety offered by various skilling methods, redistributing offensive stats to spread magic progression more widely, give players more options to tackle NPCs with elemental weaknesses, and open up new reward space for magic and range without just creeping upwards, among other things. Excuse me. All right. Ooh. That's good. Throughout all of these changes, something we've aimed to keep consistent is that even if you just carry on doing exactly what you're doing right now, you shouldn't be significantly worse off for it in the overwhelming majority of scenarios. Still wanting to use the Abyssal Whip at Gargoyles, your task. Look, we don't care about this shit. Basically, it's happening, get over it. So the Voidwaker special attack, this is the big one, okay? We're opting to shelve our proposed adjustments to the Voidwaker special attack. So it's not changing. They're backpedaled. The Voidwaker is staying strong. Guaranteed hit. Nothing is changing for the Voidwaker for now. Okay? Across your feedback, it didn't really feel as though any of you were on board with this adjustment without a clear sense of exactly what would enable down the line. Makes sense. When we reach this point of looking to release another spec DPS weapon, which could well be a long time away, we may revisit elements of this conversation and provide a clearer sense of exactly why we feel its current design is limiting for us, but we're not looking to make any changes to the Voidwaker for the time being. So they're stopping, but they may do it again in the future. If there is a new DPS spec weapon that makes sense, they will propose that adjustment again, which I think is totally fine. I think as long as they can give us a projection, an idea of where they want to take the game based on these changes, that's totally fine. But until then, they're going to leave the Voidwaker alone. If you sold your Voidwaker because of the price dip, when I specifically told you not to, if you're worried about the money, sit the fuck down. You suck. You deserve to lose that money. I believe it's shot back up to about 110 mil now. OSRS Voidwaker. Let's have a look on the Grand Exchange tracker. It's at 92 mil. Okay, there we go. It shot to 110 briefly, and now it's sitting at 95 mil. It's been down to 70 mil for a hot minute now. Look at that. 90 mil. So it's back to where it was, the 90 mil mark. It's back. It's sitting comfortably, and it's going to stay there. It's not going to go back down. You bought it for 72 mil, good man. If you bought a Voidwaker in this period, you're a smart individual. Very good. That's good. And the Voidwaker not changing means I'm going to the wilderness very soon, boys. For sure. And we anti-PK. I kind of want to finish the ballista first, though. So, because of nerf the mug? Yeah, that's silly. Was Karasi ever nerfed? Okay. Anyone calling it the Karasi? Spotos, if I ever find you in real life, okay, it's going to punch you in the fucking mouth, alright? It's Voidwaker, not Karasi. I don't care if you're like, Runescape too, it's Karasi. Don't care. It's the Voidwaker. Voidwaker sounds better. Voidwaker sounds cooler. It's the Voidwaker. We don't care that you used to play in Runescape too, right? So, back the fuck up. If not, then why the fuck would they want to nerf Voidwaker? So, oh, okay. I'm going to back up a second. I was out of line. He was talking about the Karasi from Runescape too. I'm just going to cut that out of the video so people on YouTube don't see me being an arrogant piece of shit streamer. And I'm not going to apologize because that's a sign of weakness, but fair point. I have no idea if the Karasi was nerfed. In fact, nothing was ever nerfed in Nerf, so probably true. You're probably true. Probably right. Fair enough. Bought 5 Voidwakers. Win 76 mil, waiting for 295 mil. Good man. Oh, no, selling for 90 mil, dude. Fucking get it out of there, man. Why not? Anyways, back to the magic damage redistribution. So Voidwaker's not changing. This is good. All right. So magic damage redistribution. Last week's update proposal was a step in the right direction for the most part, but one particular inclusion stood out above the rest. The Eternal Boots. Interesting. The primary criticism levied against them was that bringing the boot switch isn't particularly commonplace in a lot of content. I get people bring boot switches when they've got the shadow though, right? Requiring an extra switch to get back to the same damage numbers as before was off-putting for a number of endgame players. Interesting. In particular, this feedback mostly related to the idea of bringing a 9-way switch, meaning 9 items worth of magic gear to switch to. In case you're unfamiliar, the reason this is a tough pill to swallow is that many players switch horizontally and zigzag their cursor between 2 rows to switch a maximum of 8 pieces. This is going to be a hot take, but horizontal switching is shit. Okay, vertical switching is superior, and I will live by that. I will die on that fucking hill. Nowhere do you boot switch for shadow currently. No, you just keep the boots on the whole time, right? The eternal boots. You don't currently boot switch at all, right? Is that correct? So adding a 9th piece moves this to 3 rows and harms the feel of switching like this. Understandable. People take off. People take off the middle boots. Right. Okay. Okay. I see. Fair enough. If the other camp, well, why wouldn't you just start wearing the fucking Echo Crystal boots now, dude? Why not, dude? Send it. I guess it depends what you're fighting at the end of the day. In the other camp, other players who want to see Eternals given some degree of use, while all of the Cerberus associated boot upgrades are extremely minor compared to their base boot. That's a fucking insane acknowledgement from Jagex. Eternals are arguably the least substantial of all since they only offer accuracy in style, which is almost exclusively used in scenarios where it's already incredibly accurate. Well, that's literally the exact same as the Pegasians, right? Pegasians don't offer any strength bonus either. They're just straight up dog shit. The only reason the Prims are looked at as the best boots is because they actually provide some sort of max hit over the other 2 boots. But what Jagex should do is just do what they do with Dagonoth King rings and give us more boots. Go for like level 95 boots. Yeah, there's no damage bonus on the major range, right? Even though the Prims are only +1 over Dragon boots, they're still a form of like damage bonus, right? We got a delicate line to walk between not having these best in slot boots feel like they're not even worth taking up a slot in your bank, and not wanting them to feel hard required or encouraged an uncomfortable style of switching that runs against years of muscle memory. Okay, we'd like to propose the following: Eternal boots drop to 1% from 2%, and Occult necklace buff to 5% from 4%. So they want to bring the Occult up to 5%. The reason I like this, okay, this is why I like the Occult buff. It's because they nerfed the Ancestral to 3% of each piece. So it's good they're putting 1% back into the Occult. That kind of, it doesn't fully restore it, but it brings the balance back up. I like it. You wasted yet? No, I've got that's 4 shoeies basically. We got one more to do still. Excuse me. In terms of where exactly this leads, oh, you know what? Someone commented the other day on my video and was like, "Don't burp in your videos. It's gross." Suck a dick. Anyways, in terms of where exactly this leaves us, it varies based on a lot of factors. For endgame shadow setups, you'll gain a small bit of damage in max mage setups with Eternals and the Magus, but will likely still lose out on a max hit if you're not willing to bring Eternals for the time being. Because it's going to be 3% with the shadow, but technically 4% inside TOA. Makes sense. The main thing players need to learn is every content is either either worthless or best in slot, and that will be dead content, or invalidate your grind for best in slot at the end of the game, at the end game. Jagex want to add shit to the game. I think Magic's going to go in a very unique spot now in the game, right? Because they're regardless of them taking this damage away from their cult, they're adding magic damage to so much gear now. Arams, Infinity, Dagonhai, they're buffing Virtus and Ancestral, they're adding it to the Prayer. Magic gear is actually more important than ever now because of the extra damage you can pull out of it. At the end game, it's going to look the exact same, but for example, on my current account now, on the Ironman, where is it? Here. It's going to be completely different on this account, right? Because I've got 2 pieces of Arams. I don't have any Ancestral. This is going to give me an extra 2% magic damage now, just from these 2 pieces. I don't have the Occult yet. So this is nothing but a buff for me, plus the 4% on the Augury. This kind of... It works in my favor at the moment. It would never have looked that good for me, ever. How is the Inferno Mage meta going to change? Well, the meta is range, so... Doesn't matter. If you're maging the Inferno, just like pull your head out of your ass and just fucking range it. In terms of where have we finished this bit? For effectively everybody not using Tomb and Shadow, you'll be better off than you currently are, regardless of whether or not you're using Eternal Boots. That makes sense. Understandable. Glad because I got max mage set up now. Yeah, all content in the game can be done without max gear, right? It does not matter about best in slot gear unless you're trying to achieve like the highest like efficiency in terms of damage and accuracy output. But nothing in this game is stopping you from doing it because of gear. Like gear isn't a lock in this game, which is what's really good about RuneScape. This makes magic gear more important, in my opinion. But Arams is a very base level piece of gear that you can use, and Arams has always been incredibly strong for its price. Arams has always been incredibly accurate, and Ancestral has been too valuable. Ancestral's getting a buff, which is great. Arams is getting a buff that's like similar to Ancestral, but like if you have Barrows level gear, you can do anything in this game no matter what. It is totally fine. Yes, it's a lot easier with a Shadow and a T-Bow and a Scythe in your hands and a Fang, but nothing is stopping you from doing Theatre of Blood, Chambers of Zerek, TOA, Nex, Fasani Nightmare, Inferno, Colosseum, just because you don't have best in slot. You can absolutely learn, practice, and get better at the game. It's more about how you play than what you're wearing. Wonder if the go-to camp boots will be Eternal Boots since the Shadow triples the accuracy as well. Well, the Shadow tripling the accuracy of the Mage Boots, I thought made it better than using Prims in most places anyway already, because you would shadow most of your content. Like, I don't know about the high level efficient TOAs because I don't do them. I haven't looked at that rate enough yet. I don't know. I would have thought Eternal Boots would have been better than Prims inside TOA if you were taking the Shadow, because you're shadowing the Wardens, right? Which is the most important part of the raid. Because once you make it to Wardens, it's all about magic. It's all about your Shadow, except for P2 when you're ranging. Max FTOA, you want the melee bonus? I mean, you might want that, right? But Shadow's going to hit, but that's the thing, right? And Eternal Boots is fucking insane accuracy added. If you're a sweat, you're taking both. I figured, yeah, you'd take both if you were sweating, but you're only meleeing Baba and Kefri, and a little bit of... Well, you're probably not really meleeing much Akka. So, in my mind, I would have thought that the Eternal Boots would have been better. Like, if you were super sweaty, you'd probably take both, but... Because of Quiver, you have more room now. Honestly, that's probably not a bad argument. I don't know. It depends, but I switch vertically as well, which unironically is a point. So You need all the melee help you can get. If you do Bubba last though, will you? If you salt Bubba? Shadow actually is already so high. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just thought Eternal Boots would have been better, but Eternal Boots getting magic damage at 1% would have been 4% in TOA. Might make the Eternal Boots better over... Might make the Eternal Boots worth it now, because like there's nothing worse than getting DPS checked on Wardens, right? That is ultimately the worst fucking thing in the raid. Even though Bubba is cringe. Like nothing worse than getting to the end of like a 500 or 450 TOA raid, and then you just hitting zeros on the Wardens, and you're just like... Yeah, I'm glad I spent 30 minutes in this fucking raid. Can you draw a diagram of horizontal or vertical switching? I don't understand. If you're trying to paint fucking illustrations out of me, that's not gonna fucking work. Absolutely not. No way in hell. However, in this case, I will do it once. So you've got a box here, okay? Round edges too. Alright. And then, that's good, yeah. Alright, look at that. Oh, there's no difference, okay? So you're gonna have like your shadow. You're gonna have your ancestral top, your ancestral pants, your occult, your boots, no, you're not gonna have boots, are you? You're gonna have your torn bracelet. You're gonna have your cape. You're gonna have your hat, and you're gonna have your what else do you wear in RuneScape? Oh, ring. Yeah, that's right. People do that dumb shit. You're gonna have a ring, okay? That's your Sears ring. All right. So you switch one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Okay. You probably have your top here, your pants here, your cape here, right? Because you want your most accurate weapon, like your most accurate gear first, right? And that way you're less likely to fuck up. And if you can only do a half switch or whatever, you want the most accurate shit at the start. But if you have to add boots, boots will then what? Come down here. I'd probably put boots down here, to be honest, if I was doing switches horizontally. And people don't like that because they want to have their range gear here. They want to have the T-bow here, and then the Missouri top, Missouri pants, and then the Anguish is going to have to go here. They're going to have their quiver there. They're going to have their the Missouri mask there. And they're going to have the Archer's ring there. And they're going to have their van braces here, right? And it's going to fuck them. We try to do CMs? One day. Yeah, very soon. 10 minutes. How much for this MFT? $50. Alright. So that's... Vertical switching is doing it this way instead. Like going vertically or horizontally. Does that make sense? Yugo looking tablet? Yeah, this is like... You could probably have fucking like... Dark Magician down here real quick. Just fucking... with his little staff there. And then you got Blue Eyes. White Dragon, there you go. There you go. It's, oh. Yu-Gi-Oh tablet. It's looking good. 30 days, you all will begin to cough. Okay, Beans. Alright. So, that's the difference. Like, horizontal is one way, vertical is the other way. I prefer vertical switching just because of the way I move my mouse. It's easier to go down than it is to go right, left and right. And it is the superior way. People just would rather follow... they'll blindly follow retards who are good at the game rather than the king who is better than everyone. So, yet to be contested. So, still 100%. Am I still banned? From what? This does mean that in the future, upgrading a single % of magic damage will get you back to or beyond where you were at before if you're a shadow user. But that in the short term for mage-heavy encounters like Toons of a Mascot, it might be worth considering camping Eternal Boots over Prims. There you go. Basically, what this is saying is shadow users, best in slot, are losing 1% damage, I believe. Everyone else is getting a slight buff. But... it's important to remember. I can't remember. We appreciate that it's a difficult balance here, but ultimately we don't want to wind up in a scenario where we don't feel like we ever put magic damage on boots because of concerns about the number of switches. While this is the case from an offset offset of our news post proposal, okay, the addition of effectively any magic damage upgrade in any other slot will let you get back to camping primordials without a care in the world. Eventually, they're going to bring us a magic necklace that's going to be more than 5%. They're probably going to bring out a magic necklace that's either 10 or 12% magic damage one day, which is going to fuck the shadow even more, of course. But that's what I believe is going to happen. Like, they're going to give us more gear eventually in range and mage. And it's important to remember that gnomonkey, he incinerated a Voidwaker, which was cringe, but congratulations, you got your Voidwaker back. Just wanted to put that out there. While we're not 100% ideal for some of you reading, we believe this is likely the best compromise we'll be able to reach with the conflicting wants of various players while still delivering on our goal for redistributing magic damage to spread magic progression and gear upgrades feel more meaningful for the majority of players progressing their accounts, whether those upgrades are obtained through economic progression or by unlocking them for themselves. So what this is saying essentially is at the end of the day, the main reason this is a thing, this occult nerf thing, and the magic distribution, the main reason that's a thing is because people who have spent time and a lot of money, possibly IRL money, on gear, are upset that the biggest damage buff comes from a cheap necklace that people can just wear, and they are retards. Okay, so Jagex is answering it. I think this is... I've completely warmed up to the idea of the occult necklace nerf. I've always been against it. I would prefer they didn't touch it, but I like what they're doing, like alternatively to counteract the loss of damage. They're giving us technically 6% back by taking 5%. I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it. I would rather they didn't touch it. But it's happening because people who are narrow-minded and don't understand much about this game want to just fucking complain, and they're not touching the end game, and they're still fucking complaining about the end game. So this is still a W for everyone. I'd be careful. I got a mute for saying that retard in game. Well, this isn't in game. This is YouTube. You can say whatever the fuck you want. gnomonkey wore a dress and makeup. Lol, that's totally fun. I'd wear a dress and makeup if there was some sort of event for a stream. I believe he did it for a stream, right? Sure, give me a dress. You send me a dress and makeup to my P.O Box, I'll fucking wear it for you on a stream one day. Why not? I'm sure you'll be like, God damn, he's actually wearing what I sent him. I respect that. I'll get a plate body. It's only going to cost you $1 a month to get the plate body. Everybody wins. It would be good content. Why not? You can't judge gnomonkey for that. He's a content creator. He's doing what he can. He's having fun. He's making money. Can't blame him. Nightmare drop rates. First things first, we're walking back the proposal for dupe protection. Fair enough. Shut up, Beans. While we said it wasn't something we'd look to roll out everywhere, many of you raised concerns that it doesn't feel all that old school, and we're worried that it set a dangerous precedent. On top of this, we didn't exactly solve all of the issues with Fasani's Nightmare when it comes to orbs or just enjoyability for mains and irons alike looking for a reason to grind the boss. I'm not touching the Nightmare because I want these changes before I do it. I love the Fasani Nightmare. I think it's a great boss. The drop table could be better. Otherwise, yeah. I remember when one guy was arguing about these changes and that they wouldn't impact players, and Tob literally said he didn't know how Tob worked. Smart player. What do you mean not touch the necklace? You mean buff everything else without nerfing the necklace? No, I reckon just leave it all. But I'm happy with the necklace nerf because they're buffing things like ARMs, which I think is fine. That's cool. That's why I'm happy with the changes. I'd be fine if they left the occult and left all the gear alone. But if they're going to buff other gear with the occult, then fucking send it. Once again, we've got a delicate line to walk here between wanting to make these bosses feel worth engaging with and not wanting to undermine the monumental grind of those who've completed this content already. Fuck those people. If you've done a grind in this game and then something changes to make it easier, for example, let's say you get 99 agility, then they release a method that's 250 KXP an hour in agility, and you got a problem with it, the only thing you can do is go and fuck yourself. Like, who cares? You did the grind the hard way. Doesn't mean everyone else has to suffer. Congratulations, you did it earlier. But that's how progression works. That's how development works. That's the game aging well. Start a new account if it's that big of a fucking deal to you. Was just told my raise was approved. So here's another half to Fly's 50. So thank you for the $50. I appreciate that greatly. Does that mean I now owe you guys another shoey? Is that 6 shoeys we're doing today? so far, minus that, I guess, sip I just took them. They should all suffer because our game is 4 out of 7. True. After your last round of feedback, we took a step back, and this is going to take so long on YouTube, holy shit. We took a step back and started thinking more on the lines of, if we were making the Nightmare from scratch today, what would we set our rates at? Trying to marry it up with the previous point around undermining the achievements of those who've gone before. We know this last point might not matter to some of you reading. This is what I want. Just give me the numbers. Don't give a fuck. So, currently, it's 1 in 1,000 for any piece of Inquisitor. What's this from? Fasani or normal? In many accounts, don't frequent these bosses. It's not uncommon to see a wholly restricted player say they love the encounter design of the... It's not uncommon to say a wholly unrestricted player say they love the encounter design of the Fasani Nightmare, but they don't tend to engage with it because the time required to see anything worthwhile would be better spent elsewhere. Okay. We're proposing further improving rates for these uniques and keen to see where things shake out for Fasani's Nightmare. Note that all of the same % buffs apply to the regular Nightmare too, so the chance of any specific orb being buffed by 46.67% would go from 1800 to 960. Okay, which isn't affecting Fasani here since we feel it's more frequently engaged. Okay, so for Fasani Nightmare, it's currently 1 in 1,000 for any specific piece of Inquisitor's gear. Any unique, here we go, this is the number here. Any unique from Fasani Nightmare is 1 in 67 currently. They were proposing 1 in 33. They're doing 1 in 118. That might not seem like a lot, but let's say you spend, on average, 11 minutes killing Fasani Nightmare as a subpar, decent PVMer that you can do Fasani Nightmare, but not all the time, so you die every so often, and you haven't got the best gear. Let's say you spend 11 minutes per kill. What's that? That's, what, 49 less kills, yeah? 39 less kills. 49 less kills. You're saving 9 hours of fucking grinding, essentially, on average, to get a drop. 1 in 60 to 1 in 70 should be the drop rate. 1 in 18 is fucking great, dude. If you get 6.5 kills per hour, this takes the average number of hours per unique down from 26 hours to 18 hours. That means we're getting 1 unique a week. When we start doing our full-time Fasani Nightmare grade, which is very soon, we're getting 1 unique a week. We could finish this boss in like 3 months. It's like a whole day off of a grind. That's insane, man. That is really good. Although, I would like a double roll drop table still, just for the sake of like consumables. Doesn't have to be a double roll on the unique table, of course. But like to get a consumable and normal drop at the same time would feel more loving. That's still really good. 41% increase in total is great. They even need to reduce the drop rate more or buff average drops at Bloodshard. Don't know about Bloodshard, but I think getting 2 rolls, like a guaranteed consumable, guaranteed non-consumable, would be pretty cool. Taking your nerf RNG into account. Oh, for me, because Mod AEs has intentionally nerfed my account, I'm probably stuck at 167 regardless. Yeah, you're probably right. We feel like these numbers are in a better spot than our previous proposal. Absolutely, of course they are. To toe that line between having some items in line with their power, particularly with the Harmonized Orb, who stand to get better over the time the elemental weaknesses come into play, of course, while maintaining some of the flex status associated with these items for irons, without overly undermining the time that some have spent grinding these out already. Okay, it's a really tricky balance, and we know we're not likely to knock it out of the park for everybody at the same time. For the time being, if it incentivizes more of you to consider giving Nightmare or Fasani Nightmare a go, or perhaps put it higher up on your list for the next endgame grind, then we think this step in the right direction and can always reevaluate further down the line. I wonder, this being a 41% increase, will this make Fasani Nightmare the best in the best gold per hour again in the game? Would this make it better than TOA for gold? I think they should make an upgrade to Inquisitors to combine the Justy and make it like, what, 10 to 15% damage / actually decent defense. I mean, that's an idea for Raids 4. Get like a piece as the Mega Rare would make it something you can upgrade your Justy with to make it like Torva. Drops will go down so much. You reckon drops will go down with this? Do an extra still be better? You reckon do an extra still be better? Well, how is this compared to do an X? Not even close? Okay. I thought Fasani Nightmare was like the 4th highest gold per hour in the game. I haven't checked, so there you go. I appreciate that. That's all we got for the update today. Fair enough. We're in a position now we feel we're achieving the majority of our core aims for the project rebalance, and we feel comfortable with an upcoming launch to follow up with feedback tweaks like any other update. We know that there are more things you'd like to see added in or touched upon, but for now we want to focus on what we've got and making any necessary tweaks rather than stretching ourselves too thin. Coming back with a new blog each week where we just add just 1 or 2 extra things. Okay, immensely appreciate all the time. No one cares. Give us a date for when it's coming out. That's what we want next. So that looks good. We're going to have a quick look over this Herbal update, and then we'll do some CMs, Will, if you can. Not anymore. Just Inquiz is pretty cheap now. Right, okay. Wave 12 Coliseum, 500 TOAs, and Duo Next is still the best money making. Okay, I thought Sunny was like top 4. Might be not, maybe not anymore. They changed the Herbal real quick. Let's have a look. Taking your feedback on board and spoken to the Valamorian. Shut up. Okay, for those that want a quick summary, here we go. Investigating XP rates during balancing for your feedback in mind. Let's just look at the dot points are shit. Experience in Herb Valley. We saw a lot of discussion around the activity, but it's clear that some of you need XP rates to make an informed decision. Fair enough. Well, we aren't going to be sharing XP rates in the news post. We want to make it clear that we've heard you and we are going to be taking that feedback into the balancing changes. This also goes for the breakdown of component values. While it won't be updated in the news post, that list will be corrected and reflected. Herbal level unlocks compared to the previous sorting by GE value. Finally, for all the Tour Store fans out there, we've added this higher tier herb to the roster. I did notice Tour Store wasn't on there, so it's good they've added it. I like that. Some name is like Hydra Money. Oh, okay, I see it. Damn, it's dropped a lot then. A lot of complaints we saw when trying to visualize this activity is that you don't want it to be like Giant's Foundry as you spend a fair amount of time focused on the progress bar. Yeah, Giant's Foundry is kind of annoying how like if you can't even look away for like half a second because you just get fucked. Clarity in the actual game, the only visible UI element will be the order list. However, your feedback has prompted us to investigate other methods of communicating this information, such as NPCs shouting or available orders. Okay. We want this activity to be about engaging with the world, not focusing on the UI. The pacing will also be faster than Giant's Foundry. Awesome. When it comes to actual gameplay changes, we saw a ton of people wonder if unfinished potions could be used in this activity. While that wasn't the case initially, we think it's a bad idea. So we don't think it's a bad idea. So the mill will be renamed to the refiner, and you'll be able to put both herbs and unfinished potions inside to get your pace. So someone commented on one of my video on this recently, that they were upset. Well, not upset, they were like, I just fucking turned all my herbs unfinished. Now it doesn't matter. You're totally fine to use them for this minigame. On the similar note, we found out from our conversation that the centrifuge needs something else to make things homogeneous. So we're renaming the machine to the agitator. Okay, we're also going to review the other terminology to make it less grounded in reality. Here comes the Mixomatic 3000. Okay, cool. New challenger approaches. The rest of this update will focus on rewards for the activity. Okay, and before we get into the old, let's start off with something new. We saw a lot of feedback wondering why no new potions come from this activity. After all, this is Herblore. True. So to keep the Herblore theme going strong, we want to offer a new reward, the Potion of Goading. This potion will allow you to set aggro on any non-aggressive enemies within a 9x9 of the player using it. 9x9, how big is that? This means not only could you re-aggro enemies who've wandered off, but lure enemies that don't normally pay you any attention, like Dust Devils. Note that you can't use the potion to steal aggro from other players. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know how fucking big 9x9 is by fucking saying it. I mean, like, on fucking screen, you fucking idiots. Okay. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, does that count the one in the middle? Is that 9? That'd be 9 now, right? But that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I stand on the tile? Just so I know where to do the left and right. Is this 8 now? And this is 9? 3x3 means 3, 3. So 9, I'll be here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's pretty good. 9 vertical, 9 across. I know about fucking X and Y axis. Like 9 tiles long, 9 tiles wide. I get that. I just meant, am I in the center? This is 9 by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, including me. 3 by 3 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 9, yeah? What about Z-axis? This is 2D game. Seem to be missing something. 9 is diameter, likely not radius. If it was 3 by 3, it would be this, right? No, wait. If I was casting a fucking barrage spell and I was the target, that's 3 by 3. Okay? So 9 by 9 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got that right, yeah? 2D game. Shut the fuck up. This is right, yeah? Okay, I'm correct. I've got it right. Thank you. Alright. That's pretty cool. Gargoyles, that's great. Dust Devils, that's great. Necreals, that's great. Pretty cool potion. I don't mind it at all. That's pretty good. You got a 16 by 16 right now if you're in mid. What? Won't be that far out because you'll be in the middle. You are on the corner. Oh my god, I don't mean this fucking 9 hit. This shouldn't be happening right now. I'm trying to make a video for YouTube and you guys are like, duh, that doesn't make sense. So you guys, so there's people in the chat that think I'm talking about, fucking stand back there, you little cunt. You did not just fucking say that. 9 in every direction. Yeah, no shit! Oh my god, I don't mean is this the 9? I mean, is this the 9? What do you mean? This isn't the bottom left corner, this is the fucking center! You've got to be shitting me. I'm in the middle, I'm not in the back left corner. But why would I do fucking left and down when we have top and right to show how far we're going? You'd be standing in line with tile 5. Yes. So if I was in the middle, I would be standing here, right? Or like where this box is. This box is the middle effectively. But if I'm standing in the middle of 9 by 9, it would be this tile. Or do you want me to fucking do the tiles down and outside as well? Would that help? Am I wrong or are you guys wrong? Both wrong. It should be 4 in every direction. That'd be 18 by 18. Okay, so dude, I've had so much to fucking drink today. I'm sorry. You're wrong. Okay. 4 in every direction. All right. So for the record, guys, there's this guy who's not here anymore because he likes to take advantage of me and leave me. His name's Robert Montana. What he's done is he's made me drink a lot of alcohol and then left me to die. So is that 9 by 9? Chat's wrong. King is always right. We should know this. True. So is that right? That's it. Okay, so I was right, provided you were standing on the cube. Right? Provided this was technically the correct tile. So I was technically right. I was standing in the wrong spot, and then I was yelling at you guys for correcting me. Is that right? Just so I can give myself some dignity here. Okay, so basically, what I'm saying is, I'm going to cut this out of the video, so no one on YouTube, other than the people watching the stream right now, will ever see this footage. And we're going to move on. That's still a pretty big radius. Actually, that's quite small, actually. That's not very big. Is it? No, we're not watching a fucking OSRS Twitch stream. That's actually quite small. Goku, welcome back to the membership. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. What's hitting a number radius what? Well, actually, it'll work maybe in the Necro room, but the Dust Devil room, it won't work. But maybe, I guess, if player A is slaying Dagonos in the Catacombs, player AFK's timer is 10 minutes, Dagonos no longer aggressive, drink the potion, player's AFK timer is reset for the next 6 minutes. Oh, okay, so it resets. In a few seconds, the effect of the potion attempts to find a mob with the southwest tile lies. Okay. Okay, so it resets your timer. That's fine then. I just thought it would be like you drink it and it's anything there, then it attacks you. But if it's every few seconds for the 6 minutes, that's good. It's 4 on every side of you. Yeah, I got that, mate. We're past that, okay? We get it. Unaggressive enemies like Dust Devils, the secondary effect of the potion will attract any NPC within that range towards you. Perfect. We expect this potion to be effective against most attackable NPCs, but we'll be exploring any areas such as inside raids or against certain bosses where the effect should be negated. Understandable. Maybe you should just turn it off inside raids. Raids are all aggressive anyway. Needing a yet to be determined unfinished potion as the base, you'll be able to earn a new secondary from this activity that will act like a regent to create the potion of goading. We hope you like the idea. I honestly don't really mind it too much, man. How much longer to my D play? I don't know, man. You'll have to hit the join page and have a look yourself because I can't see from here. It doesn't tell me anything, man. It's literally on the viewer to check how many boots has he had. I've had maybe this is meant to be my 5th shoey, but I've just been sipping it more or less. We'll finish it. I have to have one more still before the day's end. Potion packs, okay. Main concern for this was that people were wondering if we actually get anything. Using lie herds will be the only way to get lie points, okay. And those points can only be spent on lie potion packs. Inside these packs, you'll find potions made from lie-based herbs, with the other packs following the same principles, okay. Adding restrictions on what potions can be obtained from the packs. Depending on your herbal level, if you can't make Sarah Brews, for example, you'll not get any Sarah Brews. Fair enough. So you can't cheese Sarah Brews, okay? We'll have an extremely rare chance. You know what? I'm okay with an extremely rare chance. Like, if there's an extremely rare chance to get Sarah Brews and stamina pots, I'm totally fine with that. If it's like one in fucking 150 packs, you're going to have to spend like 150, like, Rana weed, because they're the same as Avanto, right? To try to get a fucking stamina. That's totally fine. Once you've hit that level, the scaling will change and continue to change until you reach the required level. Fair enough. Regan's pouch. This one I heard about, actually. You'll be able to use the secondaries directly from the pouch when making potions. We're going to be experimenting with this, the best user flow for the system. So this means you'll be able to make 27 potions at a time, or maybe 26 potions at a time rather than 14. Which is big for XP per hour, I believe. That's fucking big. Provided you can menu entry swap shifting to fill the pouch, that's pretty fucking big, man. Looking, but how do I see how many months? It should be on the join page. It should say years and months, I believe. 5 beers so far. Number 6 is coming very soon. We saw some confusion about how this rule will work. Definitely saw a preference for one method over the other. We think we can come to a solid middle ground, as you'll be able to purchase the Amulet of Chemistry Eye as a separate item in the shop. This will come as a decent number of charges. You have the ability to add regular amulets for more charges, so we'll either keep purchasing multiple amulets or bag yourself one and keep it sustainable with standard versions. That's totally fine. Skilling outfit has become a hot debate recently. We've seen plenty of players who don't want to have to wear a full outfit to gain the benefits. We're going to move the full effect to the outfit onto just the goggles, but also have the option to purchase the other... So people don't want to wear a full outfit when standing at the fucking bank. Are you serious? There's people complaining, I don't want to fucking stand at the bank wearing a chemistry outfit because I want to be Fashionscape. So they're just going to make it goggles. Also give the option to purchase the other pieces of the outfit from the store for the pure drip. Like, I mean, that's fine. There's nothing inherently, like mechanically, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But that's gotta be, like, that's some of the gayest shit I've ever fucking heard. There is no way that Jagex is like, wow, people really don't want to bank stand with this alchemy gear. Let's make it the goggles, and then you can choose to have this cosmetic gear because people are like, I want to be able to wear my Elysian spirit shield that no one's ever fucking asked me about, and my blood torva that no one's fucking asked me about because that is fucked. But you know what? It doesn't matter because that means I got to spend less shit on fucking gear. I can just buy the goggles and move on. So it's really a win for everyone. That's okay. Pre-pot device. That's been the biggest reward for the bunch. Like any good concoction, we want to make the potion chugging feel smooth. So we'll be offering customizable presets for the device. While you like that, most of the rewards from this activity were untradeable. This is one exception. So as a little treat, we'll make it tradable. Okay. Doesn't matter. Potion storage. From the survey conversations online, it was clear that keeping storage focused on the bank is the way the majority of the players wish to interact with the storage solution. While we haven't got the specifics of the system, we want to come back soon with some updates and interactions for both the reward and the pre-pot device, as well as refined lists of gameplay for the activity itself. Stay tuned. Finally, the question concerns the players. Ultimate Ironmans will not be able to access storage. Good. That's it for the feedback. Okay, good, because I really need to take a fucking piss. And then I believe we're going to CM with Will. Will, if we're CMing, let me know what CC. I'm going to take a quick piss, get another beer, and then we're going to do some gaming. This is the easiest move in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.